In a world filled with constant noise, opinions, and distraction, silence is often misunderstood as emptiness or weakness. In spiritual growth, silence is neither passive nor inactive. It is a powerful state where awareness deepens and understanding expands. Silence creates space for inner clarity and connection beyond words. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because understanding the hidden power of silence can completely transform how you grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally over time. 1. Silence creates space for inner awareness. Silence removes external noise and allows attention to turn inward. When distractions fade, subtle thoughts, emotions, and insights surface naturally. This awareness is essential for spiritual growth because it reveals inner patterns that are usually ignored. Silence exposes the mind without judgment. By sitting quietly, you begin to observe rather than react. This observation builds clarity and self-understanding. Over time, silence becomes a mirror reflecting inner truth. 2. Silence strengthens the connection to inner guidance. Inner guidance is often subtle and easily drowned out by noise. Silence amplifies this inner voice by removing interference. When external input slows, intuition becomes clearer. This guidance does not shout, it whispers. Silence allows you to hear it. Over time, trust in this guidance grows. Decisions feel aligned rather than forced. Spiritual growth depends on learning to listen rather than constantly seeking answers externally. Silence trains this listening skill. 3. Silence dissolves ego-driven patterns. Ego thrives on expression, validation, and reaction. Silence weakens these patterns by removing the need to respond or perform. When you stop explaining yourself, defending opinions, or seeking recognition, ego loses momentum. Silence reveals attachment to identity and control. This awareness allows release. Spiritual growth accelerates when ego-driven reactions decrease. Silence creates humility and openness. Without constant expression, deeper truths emerge. 4. Silence deepens presence in the moment. Spiritual growth requires presence, and silence anchors awareness in the present moment. Without verbal or mental noise, attention naturally settles into now. Thoughts slow, and perception sharpens. This presence allows direct experience rather than interpretation. Silence makes each moment vivid and meaningful. Over time, presence becomes habitual. You stop living in past regrets or future anxiety. Spiritual insight emerges from this grounded awareness. 5. Silence allows emotional healing to unfold. Emotions often surface only when silence is present. Noise suppresses unresolved feelings. Silence gives them space to rise and dissolve naturally. This process may feel uncomfortable at first, but it leads to healing. Suppressed emotions lose power when acknowledged. Silence provides safety for emotional processing. Spiritual growth requires emotional integration, not avoidance. Over time, silence builds emotional resilience. You learn to sit with feelings without reacting. Healing occurs through acceptance. Inner balance replaces resistance. 6. Silence sharpens perception beyond words. Words simplify reality, but silence allows perception beyond language. In silence, understanding becomes intuitive rather than conceptual. You sense meaning without explanation. This deeper perception is central to spiritual growth. Silence expands awareness beyond thought structures. Over time, perception becomes refined. You notice subtleties in energy, emotion, and intention. This awareness strengthens compassion and wisdom. Silence trains perception to operate beyond logic. Understanding becomes experiential rather than intellectual. 7. Silence builds inner discipline and patience. Remaining silent requires discipline. It challenges impulses to react, speak, or distract. This discipline strengthens patience and self-control. Spiritual growth depends on mastery over impulses. Silence develops this mastery gradually. You learn to pause before action. Patience replaces urgency. Over time, silence becomes comfortable rather than forced. Inner discipline grows naturally. This stability supports deeper practices such as reflection and contemplation. Silence strengthens the ability to remain centered under pressure. 8. Silence aligns energy and reduces inner conflict. Inner conflict often arises from competing thoughts and emotions. Silence reduces this friction by calming mental activity. Energy becomes aligned rather than scattered. This alignment creates harmony between thought, emotion, and intention. Spiritual growth thrives in this coherence. Silence allows conflicting patterns to settle. Over time, inner tension dissolves. Calm becomes the default state. Alignment improves clarity and purpose. Silence restores balance within the inner system. 9. Silence encourages humility and openness. Silence cultivates humility by reducing the need to assert opinions. You become more receptive and less defensive. This openness allows learning and growth. Spiritual development requires humility, the willingness to not know. Silence supports this state. Over time, ego softens and curiosity deepens. You listen more and judge less. Openness becomes natural. Spiritual insight flows more easily through a quiet mind. Growth accelerates through receptivity rather than assertion. 10. Silence connects you to a deeper sense of meaning. At its deepest level, silence connects you to meaning beyond form and language. It reveals a sense of unity and purpose that words cannot capture. This connection brings peace and understanding. Spiritual growth matures into acceptance and clarity. Silence becomes a companion rather than absence. Over time, it provides grounding and reassurance. Meaning is felt rather than explained. Silence becomes a source of strength and wisdom that guides life gently and consistently. Silence is not emptiness. It is presence, awareness, and deep connection. Through silence, spiritual growth becomes grounded, authentic, and enduring. It dissolves ego, heals emotion, and strengthens inner guidance. Don't forget to like and subscribe because embracing silence allows you to grow beyond noise and connect with clarity, peace, and meaning that cannot be found through constant expression.